We now welcome in the man himself, Forbes' #1 most powerful NFL agent of 2025, David Mulugheta. David, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We so appreciate it. I want to dive right in. Can you walk us through your timeline on how things unfolded with the Cowboys and Jerry Jones?
First, I appreciate you guys having me. And Steven, I appreciate you learning how to say my last name after 3 years.
And in 2024 alone, he negotiated over $1 billion in NFL contracts. Unheard of, never been done before by a single agent, and that's the first time it's ever been done.
Never been done before by probably 90% of the agencies. That's mind-boggling. And I think, what'd you tell me about that, David? Like, what was your goal when you started?
Man, my goal when I started was just to be able to sustain a job and be able to take care of myself. And obviously at some point, my goal's always been, retire my parents. I think for me, that was kind of always a driving force, just seeing everything they had done for us and the work they put into it and maybe not being paid what they should have been being paid, with everything they put into it. So for me, it was like, that was my light at the end of the tunnel. My why was, putting my parents in a situation where they could sit back and relax and kind of enjoy, their kids, their grandkids. And, when I got to that point is when I really felt like, okay, yeah, this has worked out.
Here we go, talking about the same thing. Here we go again.
Dallas Cowboys have great confidence in it. George Pickens, their star receiver, had a breakout season for Dallas after they traded for him this offseason. He is set to be a free agent. Obviously, the Cowboys are going to franchise tag him, something we've known for quite some time, but that doesn't necessarily mean that George Pickens is going to stay in Dallas. My understanding is that a tag and trade scenario is considered to be a possibility for Dallas. And actually, the value would make some sense. You're traded for him for a third-round pick. Maybe, let's say, they could get a second-rounder, just throwing something out there, for instance. That would be really good value for Dallas. Another team would then be able to lock Pickens up on a long-term deal, give him the security that he wants. The Cowboys have shown a willingness to trade their star players for significant draft pick compensation.
Don't say. Heard about it.
Maybe those players have the same agent in David Mulugheta. I'm just saying it's an interesting situation to consider.
Question now becomes, will Jerry Jones call David Mulugheta or attempt to do a deal directly with George? What do you think? Jerry would be the first one to tell you who really knows.
Well, we do know. Here we go again, KELZ, and the NFL franchise tag window officially opened today, and GP3 is the talk of the web. KELZ, are you still there? I think maybe KELZ is having a little issue there, but maybe she'll be back in here shortly. But top of the afternoon, it's your boy B Jizzle here live, talking about franchise tag. In case you did not know, the NFL franchise tag window opened officially today. Yeah. Candidates to watch while the window is open. And guess who is on the top of the list? Our guy, George Pickens. KELZ, here we go again.
Hey, I don't know what happened. Why it froze?
You froze up there for a second, but yeah. NFL franchise tag officially open. Here we go again.
Yeah. Tag
GP3's talk of the town.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jerry going to commit a crime and let GP3 get away, or is he going to tag and that be the safe thing? But I know if I'm David Mulugheta, I'm trying to get some money from Jerry. This might be the clip or the movie that carries us through franchise tagging. And I know you put this up here earlier today, KELZ, and I want to make sure everybody is aware of how the franchise tag operates. KELZ shared some good intels here for us today. Here's what to know on franchise tag day.
Yep.
KELZ, in your short summary, why is the franchise tag a thing? Like, what, like, do we know how it even started? I don't. I'm genuinely asking. I just know it's a thing. But
it started decades ago. So it's basically when you have a good player that you value that's on the team, and you know that they're coming up on free agency, and you don't want to let that player go. The league started this thing where it's called the franchise tag. So you have the exclusive franchise tag, and then you'll have the non-exclusive franchise tag, which is also known as the transitional franchise tag. So yeah, so that's how it started. So the window started, they did add a few days to the window. It was scheduled for the 17th through the 28th. Then they added some more days to it. So now it's the 17th through the March 3rd.
All right. Well, I mean, we got a few players we got to worry about contracts, like our best kicker in the league, Brandon Aubrey, a guy who rushed for over 1,000 yards, Javonte Williams. But George Pickens seems to be, everybody thinks the general consensus around the league is, you heard Rappaport saying there that believing that the Cowboys are going to tag. But my question is, with what went down with Micah Parsons and David Mulugheta, I've always just been saying tag because I don't want that smoke with David Mulugheta. I mean, you've seen the intro. Dude is over $1 billion done for his players. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But, if I'm David Mulugheta, am I going to take a tag from Jerry after he tried to say some stuff I didn't say last time it went around with Micah?
Well, like I said, I mean, the thing is the player, the agent works for the player. The player does not work for the agent. Okay. So a lot of people have that mindset that, the player works for the agent, and that's not so much the case. Yes, the agent is to work a deal out that's best for his client and everything, but he still has to listen to what his client wants at the same time, as well as what his client needs. And I'm not taking away from David Mulugheta. He is a good agent, but he has also ruffled a few feathers, not only in the sports realm, because he doesn't only deal with football. So we have to make that clear right there. But he has also ignored what the players have wanted as well.
Well, there's options on the table, obviously.
And he has been fired by a few players.
Oh, yeah, you don't hear about that. That's some bad press there.
Oh, we've heard about it. The thing is, a lot of people don't like to stretch outside of the Cowboys realm.
Well, that's first I've heard that he's gotten fired. You got any examples of players any Cowboys fired him?
Yeah, I mentioned it. Well, not Cowboys, but I have.
I know Javonte Williams is looking for a new agent. Boy, think about it. Javonte gets David Mulugheta.
I don't think that would be a good message. I'm hoping for Javonte to really get Nicole Lynn. That's who I would really love for him to have. But because that's the one. I mean, David don't have nothing on Nicole. But
David's the first one over $1 billion. So I mean, that's got to say something.
Yeah,
guy knows how to get money for his players.
You have to look. Let's take money out of it. We have to look at integrity, character, and morals. Ooh. Okay.
Will somebody do something wrong there? I'm not following. Maybe did David Mulugheta get accused of some things or something?
No, it's just that he's been fired, and I mentioned it plenty of times. T. Higgins was fired. Not fired. T. Higgins fired David Mulugheta, as well as one of the top soccer players, I want to say in Brazil, I think. He fired David Mulugheta. I mean, he has a track record of players who have fired him because he did not listen to what they wanted. David wanted to do what David wanted to do.
Okay. I guess, agents that get fired, that's a bad thing. Didn't know that. But a lot of folks are saying tag and trade GP3. I mean, could that be a scenario? I mean, any new intels on anything that you've heard today, KELZ, especially with the tag window opening here for our audience?
Well, the only thing I did hear that that his representation did want to talk about a deal next week during Combine, because that's the other window where
I heard somebody say they call that the tampering operation, or the tampering central. That's what I heard. I heard it's tampering central at the Combine.
Well, it's not so much of tampering. The actual tampering starts March 8th, but there are certain pocket windows where clubs and agents can talk. One of the windows is definitely during the Shrine Bowl and the Senior Bowl, because they do have agents there, because a lot of those agents do have college players that they represent. So you will see some of them there. So it's only a certain amount of time in within those windows that they can, talk. Once those bowls are over with, all contract talks or whatever you could get done cease. And then the next time is during the franchise tag window, which we are in right now, as well as the tampering period before the NFL season league year starts. So those are the only windows that you have. So they do want to try to talk a deal to get an actual long-term deal during the week of combine. If that's not the case, then they will place the tag on him.
Yeah.
Now, with the tag, if they do the tag and trade, these are some of the things that can happen. We can lose that 2027 third round compensatory pick, or we can get some more draft capital that way instead of trading the 20th pick. But I
By
think
tagging and trading GP, then I mean, is
right.
there?
So
I mean,
it
could
can
you
happen.
explain to everybody how that may work if that were to go down? Like if Dallas were to tag and then trade him to a willing suitor, because I'm hearing there's a lot of teams out there with a lot of money being ready to pay George Pickens, which makes sense. But
Yeah.
how does that work if the Cowboys were to pay and then trade George Pickens?
So if they were to tag and trade, like I said, the two ways it could go, you have to have a dancing partner with you.
Which means a team that has some money that's willing to pay, right?
Right.
Okay.
So if the Cowboys decide to tag and trade to a willing participant, that participant say, yeah, I'll take them, but I'm not giving away any of my draft picks or anything. The Cowboys can still say, okay, well, we'll trade you for them, but you will lose your 2027 third compensatory pick. If the willing partner say, okay, we will take them and we'll give you next year's, not this year, maybe next year's first round pick and maybe this year's later round pick. So that could either be a later day 2 or early day 3 pick for this year. So that can happen as well. But if they just decide to altogether release George Pickens, then that's how we'll keep our 2027 third round compensatory pick, but we don't get anything for this year's draft pick. So those are some of the scenarios that can happen.
So that kind of narrows it down for willing participants, like you're talking about. That's not, a wide variety, because for one, yeah, you can have the money, but for two, are you gonna give up them picks?
That's the thing. Will the team give up them picks for them?
Shout out to the Big Time Show tapping in right now. Yeah, it's up, baby. It is up right now. The tag window is open. GP is the talk of the town. And I'm thinking, hey, get your popcorn ready, baby, because y'all know Jerry likes to play things out and wait till the last minute. I mean, here we go again. We've seen this movie, right, when it comes to contracts and players. But I know this for sure. We cannot let George go. I don't even want to tag and trade. Like, this was the number 2 offense in the league last season, right? KELZ. It only makes sense we keep him going in the next season.
Honestly, I don't think they're going to do a tag and trade. I think they're going to either going to tag him, which he will get off the break $28 million, or they could work out a long deal. So this is my hope. Even if they decide to come up with a trade, like if they cannot work out a deal during the time that the combine happens next week, and they tag him. They have until July 15th at 4 p.m. to find, to come up with a deal. If not, leave that comment up there real quick, because I just saw a shot of it real quick. If they don't come up with anything during that time frame, then George Pickens will play on the tag, whether he signs it or not. If he holds out, then that's losing money in any of the camps. That's the mandatory mini camp, which is in June, the training camp, which is in July. So we're talking about he can lose $500,000 that way. If he holds out during the season, and if a deal is not done during the trade deadline, which is November 4th, whatever that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that first Tuesday in November is. And if he holds out during that time, then he could lose $1 million of game checks for how many games he's missed. Now, here's the thing, and I forgot to mention it. When did we do the show? Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. When we were talking about the BPA scenario and everything. If they decide to tag him and then give him a deal for next year, you don't want, from now until that point, it's good to get a deal done now, because you do not want another wide receiver that is up for a contract between now and next year's season to offset the wide receiver market, because that has happened very recently, where all these quarterbacks got paid. Dak should have been taken care of earlier when the season started.
Oh, you mean when it took him like 2 years to get paid?
Oh, yeah. It happened numerous of times, because every time a quarterback or just any position gets paid, it offsets the market. So I tell people, don't blame Dak for what he has got paid. Trevor Lawrence was the last person.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence got paid more than Dak in the discussion. But Joe Tranchina's tapping in, KELZ. He said trade Pickens to the Raiders for the #1 pick. I mean, could that even happen?
That's stupid. Let's keep going. And we talked about that yesterday. The Cowboys have the points to trade the 20th, but not to move up from 12 to 1. We already talked about the point system yesterday. We talked about the draft capital and the trade equity.
All right. Well, there you go. Run, tell Dak there, Joe. Shout out to my guy Steven up here in the Pacific Northwest. He says, you think we got a chance, or do we want Tyreek Hill? Yeah, I heard Miami let him go, right?
No.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard many Cowboy fans saying come out and get Tyreek, but, we know how that goes. Sterling's tapping in with that.
Let me go back to, I just saw, wait a minute, it was the comment that said agents and clubs can talk, but not
Shout out to
clubs
Eric Taylor with that green badge.
And play. The only time the club can talk to a player, they can talk to the player. However, that's if the player does not have an agent. So the club can talk to the player if the player does not have an agent.
Shout out to Big Time Show tapping in.
But the thing is, it's still within the window. That's what I'm saying. It's still within the window. If they talk,
this is going to go to probably.
That's what was up. No, that Micah was a whole different thing. Michael wanted to get a deal done as far as a contract extension. He was still on a rookie year deal, and they already decided in 2023.
Yeah, he didn't get tagged, right?
Yeah. That's Micah's something totally
Yeah,
different.
it was a rookie contract, or yeah, it was that the
And they
5-year
wanted, and
extension.
he wanted an extension.
Yeah.
Cowboys decided that they wanted to exercise his 5th-year deal towards the end of the 2023 season. So Micah is something different. He was not a free agent.
Well, I mean, it only makes sense to keep George, but I mean, realistically, could we see a tag and then a deal done by, whenever to keep it safe? Or are they going to just say, hey, you're going to play on the franchise tag? Can you explain a little bit about that? Maybe how you might see this play out based on your intel?
Well, like I said earlier, if they don't work a deal out, he has to play on the franchise tag deal, whether he signs it or not. So if he decides not to sign it and he decides to hold out, then he will lose money.
Got you. And of course, we're on a Tuesday and a throwback Tuesday. But y'all remember when George Pickens came to the Cowboys and the media was interviewing him? Remember when he had this to say? Yeah, I mean, after being the MVP of the Pro Bowl games, talk about compound injuries. Listen in to what one reporter asked GP about being with CD.
Do you feel like you and CD can be one of the top wide receiver duos in the NFL?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why?
Just different type of styles of play. Like a lot of people over the years got different type of styles of play, but CD's a certain type of guy, then I'm a certain type of guy. So when you mesh that together, it's like Mario Bros. You see what I mean? So like we definitely could do something special.
Got to keep Mario Bros together. I mean, yeah, it would be a crime if the Cowboys are. I mean, I don't even want to tag and trade. I just want to get it done because we still got Brandon Aubrey, KELZ. Are you hearing anything about him and maybe about on Javonte Williams in terms of their contract situations or what's going on with them? Because we know got GP3 like front and center right now.
Well, like I said yesterday, nothing has not moved yet as far as with Javonte Williams. He's still in the market for an agent. Vondale, is something with the reason why we really can't trade Turpin is because he just signed a contract with us. And two, and it's the same way. If we trade him, he will be on our books. It's just like with like right now with
Jordan. Yeah, because we just paid Cavante.
Right.
Yeah, we just did a deal with him.
Right. So he will still be on our books, basically, because he just signed a brand new contract with us.
Just like GP came from Pittsburgh and he was on the books for Pittsburgh this year, right?
He's still on the books. So whether he gets the long-term deal or the tag or whatever it is, it will not take effect until next season.
Sterling's tapping in right here. Shout out to the Green Bay supporter. Shout out to the Gym Rat of the Month for February. One of them some Cowboys customs by Nargot sold today. Shout out to Sterling. He says, I say tag him till we see the numbers, then talk about the long term. I mean, what's the market on the wide receivers right now? I'm hearing like 28 million and up or something like that. Because I know CD got 30-something, right? And CD, I think, has even been out there and said, I don't care if he gets paid more than me.
So right now on the books, he's listed as WR1B. So he will be paid wide receiver 1 money instead of a WR2. WR2 is a little bit less.
So, yeah, I mean, that's good to hear that CD's not in his feelings about, if George was to get more money because, that whole situation. But that clearly says as competitors, I mean, CD's having fun with them. They want to win. I mean, we got to keep the Mario Bros together.
Yeah, Jalen, that's what the tag is for Pickens is 28 million.
So 28 million, and we got restructures coming in. We got the salary cap of the NFL went up. In case you didn't know, to over 300 million. It's kind of falling in Dallas's favor, especially with the salary cap going up.
Someone just signed with Tennessee defensive tackle Ernest Brown. So now that's money that is coming off the books that we don't have to be worried about. So that's leaving space on the 53-man roster because, again, like I said, on the show Sunday, that the first round picks are automatic roster spots. So we're going to have 2 spots that we have to put on a 53-man roster this year automatically. That's whoever we pick at
12 and 20.
Yeah.
Or if we trade back, would it be that person too, or would it just be at 12 or 20?
So let's say like with Buffalo.
So if we trade back to like 30 something and pick up another pick, then it'd be at, okay, got you.
Right. So let's say, for example, Buffalo Bills, they need some positions to address for this coming season, and they're at pick 26. So if they make the call, if they do a "Hey big head, what you doing?" phone call to the Cowboys, and the Cowboys entertain it, they will take the 26 pick, but I will also try to take one of their day 2 picks as well. I can't remember what their round 2 pick is for day 2, but I know in the 3rd round they are 91. They're pick 91 in day 2. So I will either take their 2nd round pick or their 3rd round pick just to get into day 2, because a lot of these good players are going to fall in the 2nd round. CD is getting $34 million before restructure, and I think top market for wide receiver 1A. Yeah, so that's where that's the new offset, because CD Lamb, I believe, did a wide receiver get paid after CD?
Did Jamar Chase or one of them? Somebody got paid.
Somebody offset the market after CD, because CD his contract.
That was Chase, wasn't it?
I think it was Chase, because CD, him and Dak got signed the same season in 2024. So somebody reset the market. So yes, so right now he's currently at 34 mil before restructure. If they restructure, if they pull the restructuring clause,
okay,
he will only get
Jamar, maybe AJ Eric's tapping in.
He's not. It's either AJ Brown or
somebody I remember did get paid though. It was one of them two.
It's one of those two, yeah. So CD with his restructuring right now, yeah, it's currently 34. If they decide to pull the restructuring clause off of his contract, he's going to be getting a lot is not coming off. I think he's getting between 28 or 29 if they decided, but still he'll get that money off the back end.
Shout out to Jason Cavness. Was just on this podcast yesterday. I know you, KELZ, you know pretty much everybody. That's your frat. I'm like, how you know him? He's tapping in. He says, is there something that ranks how good or bad each team's scouting department is? Ooh, great question. Maybe the amount of folks that they retain and pay. I don't know. What would be your thoughts on that, Kel? That's the first I've ever heard of that.
Are you talking about as far as draft, free agency, how we did in the season? Because it's a lot.
Speaking of which, those report cards that come out every year on the teams, I've heard they kind of kibosh those. Like we're not gonna get those anymore about like how the weight room was and how the facilities are and things like that. But Jason asks a great question. I mean, I would think Will McClay's right up there with the best of them.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's not vague, but that's a very broad.
Maybe get a little bit more specific for us, Jason. Appreciate you tapping in. Jason, a big Cowboys fan up here in Seattle too as well. Be out there at DFW in April at Military Creator Con.
So let me use it for example. So let's say if you're talking about draft, the draft grade for the first round comes out as soon as the first round is over with, like early that morning. College.
Well, I mean, in terms of drafting, I don't know.
Are you talking about as far as drafting? Because I don't know if you watched the show Sunday, but I think BG did a sound bite about what I said. Players have something called if you don't hear like a first round talent or prospect, Then the other terminology is a draft grade. So you will hear something like, "Oh, he's a high draft grade. He could be a top tier, middle tier, lower tier." And normally the lower tiers are the ones that will go like in day 3. So that's another terminology. So it's like a draft grade. And then when that player is draft, they will have something like I mentioned before, like, I said Tyler Booker, great talent, but I was like, yo, he was drafted kind of high. So, and I had Tyler Booker going like in the lower first round.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that on last show.
Yeah. So when we drafted him after the draft was over with, his draft grade was an A-, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, we got some clarity there. Appreciate that, Eric. He says it was Jamar Chase, and he got 40 years. Yeah, I knew it was somebody, one of them guys.
Yeah, that's what I said. It was
good look, Eric. Appreciate that.
Resetted it. Yeah, somebody resetted it after CeeDee Lamb.
But in other news, KELZ, it looks like we're going to hear from our new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, for the first time tomorrow at a press conference, right?
Yeah, because from my understanding, the reason why it's taking the time it did for the press conference because everybody was in a winter advisory, so the Star was shut down.
All that snow they got out there and all that cold weather and everything.
For some days, and so now it's scheduled for tomorrow. But he will be on Media Row as well to answer questions and answers during the combine.
Okay. Yeah, which I'm looking forward to getting out to. I will be at the combine at the end of the month on that Saturday and that Sunday, 28, 29th, or 28 and the 1st, rather. So look for some more content. Appreciate all of the Green Bass supporters. There will be. Maybe we'll get a live stream in Lucas Oil, but I don't know. If not, I'll still be out there on location.
And it's free if you're in the area.
It's free to attend, huh?
It's free to attend. You download the NFL One Pass and you select the days that you're going to be there. And once you submit it, all your tickets, you will get all your tickets. If I don't know how the Android works, but if you have an iPhone, you could save the tickets. Save the tickets in your Apple Wallet.
That's good to know. Free to attend. So any Dallas Cowboy fans out there going to the combine, I'll place the link down in the comments below. Here it is, February 25th or 26th to March 1st. I don't know. Do you know did you catch which positions are on Saturday and Sunday? Did you catch which position groups are on those days?
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull it up. Hold on, give me a minute.
Yeah. So shout out to anybody going to the combine. If you are, let me know. I will be in the area.
Hold on. So it's still the same days, but let me pull it up so I know. Like I know the Sunday, which is the last day. That's always offensive line because that's the shortest. But hold on,
VIP tickets. Let's see how much these are.
Combine.
Woo! $959,000 per person. Yeah. Anybody got $1,000? Anybody want to buy your boy B Jizzle a VIP pass? Let me know, baby, so we can get some exclusive content because I ain't got $1,000 to get up in that junk. I will go to the free part though. I mean, that should get us in the stadium where we get a pretty good view over there, right, Kels?
Yeah, and you can sit anywhere you want. That's the thing, is general sitting. So just because you get a ticket, you don't have a this is what section you're in, this is what row you in, this, that, and it's just like a whole NFL experience. Yeah,
but I'm interested in what positions are on Saturday, especially because
so the 20. Okay, so here we go. February 23rd through the 24th is player arrivals, orientation, and initial medical exams. So we will get those exams by the next show, which will be whatever that following day is, March 1st or something like that. Then March 25th through 26th, that's interviews and measurements. Then The 26th through March 1st are the on-field workouts and drills at Lucas Oil. Then March 2nd, the players will depart. So here's the workout schedule. That Thursday, the 26th, will be defensive linemen and linebackers. The 27th will
check your DM, Jalen. Check your DM, baby. I'm sorry, Kels.
Oh, you fine. The 27th is defensive back, so that's your secondary. Let me rewind. They are doing something special on Wednesday, February 25th, and this is something that Pat McAfee has always talked about. That's where you go and see your special teams, like your kickers, your punters, your long snappers, because they do get jilted out of the combine. So that's on the 25th. So let me go back. So the 26th is defensive linemen, linebackers. The 27th, your secondary. That Saturday, the 28th, that's quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends. March 1st are now they're doing the specialists. Okay, so the specialists are now on the last day, which is March 1st. That's your kickers, your punters, long snappers, and your offensive linemen. So we do get to actually see the specialists on the day, because they don't broadcast the special teams, because that was always to kick off the combine. So now they have added it.
Now, everybody that gets to the combine, so everybody that may not know, I learned recently, a couple of years, I think maybe last year or the year before, that everybody that shows up to the combine is invited. These are invites only, right? Because not all college players can just show up at the combine and say, hey, put me in the game, coach.
Yeah, so it's invited. It's invite only. The prospect can
319 prospects.
Yep. The prospect can accept or deny. And if they deny, they probably want, more than likely, like the scouting department to come to their pro days.
319. Ooh, that's a lot of players. So that link from NFL.com is in the comments. So if you want to check out that list of 319 invitees to the NFL Combine, because we got the Combine coming up, then we got the draft coming up, but the tag window opened today, and George Pickens is the talk of the town. And just like Big Time Show said earlier, Kels, I'm like, can we just get him done, and so we can go do, Brandon Aubrey and then do Javonte Williams, and then we can get to this draft, right? Because we still got to find out about these compensatory picks, which means we could garner more picks, but these 8 picks that we got, these precious picks, we'll be covering linebackers this weekend. That's right, my girl Kels and I, plus special guest KC of Smack Talk, will be tapping in with us.
I haven't posted it yet, but I'm getting ready to text it to you in your IG. Hold on, where is that?
Yeah, shout out to Nicole Craig. I know she's out there in the area. We plan to link on up there at Indianapolis. She says, not sure if I'm going to make it to the combine, but I'm going to try to meet up with BG. Yeah, we've already chatted about that. Appreciate you tapping in, Nicole, and always for your support. Hope we do get a chance to meet up out there in Evansville. That's about 2 hours south of Indianapolis. But anyway, like we were saying, Kels.
Okay, I just dropped something in your DM real quick, and I'm gonna post it after the show.
It goes down in the DM. It goes down in the DM. Let me see what you got in here. What you got for me? Here's what to know. All right, I'll go ahead and grab this stuff as you can get to one of these questions here. I think Eric says, I'd like to go.
The questions now.
Yeah. Go ahead and get to Eric right quick while I save these images.
I would like to go to a combat. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to go next year. It's just a lot going on right now. I had multiple deaths within the last couple of weeks, so
yeah, sorry to hear that, Kels.
Yeah.
My condolences go out. I know, that was just recent. I was like, man, I didn't know if you were going to be able to make episode 1, but seeing you posting it in the game, so we appreciate you showing up. A lot of folks forget we got lives outside of these lives.
Yeah, I lost my choir director when I was a kid on Super Bowl Sunday. Then Monday, we got the news about Miss Price, and then
you know what? I didn't get a chance to get your reactions on that. You know, what's your thoughts on the passing of Miss Price, which I believe in a couple of days here her services will be going down. I think I've shared that link on my Facebook already. But you know, what's your thoughts on Miss Price passing?
Yeah, because I wasn't able to hop on, but I did tune in and everything. I will always say, hearing Miss Price, Tony
Romo. That's what I always hear.
Tony Romo. And the thing is, I wasn't physically with her when she said it. I was actually watching. This is when the NFL Network used to be inside and do their live broadcasting all day, during the training camps and everything. And I want to say this was during. Was this Dax? It was either the rookie year or the sophomore year, and no, I think Coop was there. So maybe this was, I can't remember. No, Coop wasn't with the team. But all I remember was Des Bryant was doing the interview with NFL Network. And that's when Michael Irvin was still employed with the NFL Network. And you just hear her in the background, Des, and you doing the interview. He's just shaking his head laughing. So, no, that was summer camp 2017, because when I went to Dallas for my birthday weekend for it was the last home game, and we played Seattle Seahawks, and that was the first game that Zeke was playing after being suspended, and I was at the table with Colleen Case and some of the other ladies, and of course Cynthia Bowen was there, and she was talking about. I said, I remember seeing that at training camp, and she said, yeah. After he got finished doing the interview, Des went to her and said, yes, Mama Price. You know, I was like, yeah, I remember that because it was so loud. Des.
Yeah, she's very. Her energy is infectious.
Yeah, and I've met her. I was able to recover 2 pictures that I have of her. I lost a lot of pictures that I did have with her. In my other phone, water damage happened and everything. So, so I was able to secure 2 photos that I do have on Facebook that I have of her. So she was just a fresh breath of air, and she has missed. Cancer sucks. I know a lot of people that have lost their battle to pancreatic cancer. That's something that I don't wish on anybody, because that thing will take you out so quickly.
Well, she's up there in the heavenly skies with the original super fan, Crazy Ray. So if you know about Crazy Ray, go ahead and hit that like button, baby, because Mama Price and Crazy Ray is up there watching them boys.
Yeah. So after her passing, then on that Wednesday, my aunt unexpectedly passed and everything. So everything just has been going on. So I need for 2026 to just chill out on the deaths right now, because
it's getting off to a fast start in the wrong way, right?
Yeah, and I've been hit hard with deaths from 2022 since now. So I just needed to pause real quick. But that wasn't the case, because we lost, Reverend Jesse Jackson today. So, but
and one thing's for certain, we all going to eventually gain our wings as we take a look at our potential schedule, or actually our schedule, as we got linebackers up next. Like I said, we got a special guest, another creator covering them boys on Facebook, Smack Talk. He's been hanging around Built Different Group for a couple of years here. So we got linebackers coming up this Sunday. which he's going to be bringing the heat. He's been breaking down players and sharing a lot of content on his Facebook. So I'll go ahead and pull his page up and share that with y'all. But shout out to my guy Smack Talk. I'm excited to talk about linebackers, Kel.
Yeah,
because we need 1 or 2 or 3 or 50 or
we need
11.
a couple. But did you pull up the one
Yeah, I
that
did.
has the missing
I
the
did.
missing spots?
Say what?
It's the one that we need the missing spots. Like, there we go. So this is courtesy of Dan Rogers. I was about to do this, and then when I saw it, I said, "Oh, he did the work for me." So let me go ahead and
Right.
copy and
Love
paste
it when that
this.
happens, right?
Yeah, so I gave him his credit. So courtesy of Dan Rogers. So these are some of the positions and everything. So I just took like 2 sentences after his post and everything. So yeah, we do need like another defensive end. We need that, that linebacker. I'm curious to see what they will do with Shamar James. With that, we will need another cornerback, because the way that is looking, they're going to keep Deron Bland on the inside as the nickel.
Yeah, so basically replacing Trey.
Right. So I do know that the skill set for the cornerbacks that Christian Parker would like to have will be a hybrid. They play both man and zone.
That's some good intel right there. Appreciate you getting that. Shout out to the source. She said who that was from again?
Dan Rogers.
Dan Rogers. Yeah, I've seen a lot of his stuff come out off Twitter and stuff too as well. So here's what to know. More intels from KELZ.
Yeah, thanks to him too, because I was about to do this, and let me tell you, he did the work.
Shout out to Dan Rogers, on the contributions here today.
Right. So this is like a good breakdown of what Christian Parker likes and what he looks for in his players,
which we'll hear from on this presser here tomorrow. So I'm curious to see what he's got to say.
So we gotta we got a 1-up, so we know what to expect when he talks.
There we go. So what sticks out to you when you learn the intels on what our new DC wants?
I mean, we need everything on defense. I mean, I'm not going to lie.
She said everything, y'all. We need everything. Spend all 8 picks on defense.
I mean, honestly, when you look at it, one is not more important than the other, because all of them is important right now at this present date. But I'm like, if we decide to stick and pick with 20, if Sonny Styles is still there, yeah, grab him. But that's, like I said, I would not personally, I would not get a linebacker at 12, knowing that we need a corner.
Yeah, you already talked about that. A rookie linebacker. We need to go find maybe a veteran linebacker out there. So it's curious. We'll have to take a look at free agency, especially after free agency frenzy kicks off. So I know we'll be hanging around here to do some reactions there. Maybe first 24 hours in on free agency frenzy, find out how things are shaking and moving.
Do you think they will go after Quincy's brother Quincy? I forgot about Quincy. Maybe we'll have another brother duo. And I forgot about Quincy.
Well, we're going to be covering those free agents, and today the tag window opens. So I think it's a general consensus. Just get George taken care of. It doesn't matter if it's a tag and trade, maybe. I mean, we need to put it to rest because we still got Brandon Aubrey. We still got Javonte Williams. It's that time of year again. Here we go.
We got Donovan Wilson. I don't think Donovan Wilson will be back. Sam Williams, Dante Fowler. We got a few, and then the thing is,
because they could start officially releasing folks today too, as well, right?
Yeah, they released. That started yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Any news on any names that you got that have been released from the Cowboys already?
Ernest Brown, that's the one. Ernest Brown. He's going to Tennessee Titans. And he's defensive tackle. Yeah, that's all I know right now. Just because I just want to get, because people that they're going to get all in their emotionals. Some of these fans, they become, what did I call
not
it?
Cowboy fans,
Oh yeah,
KELZ.
Cowboy fans. Yeah, emotionally.
What they gonna be tripping on? What they gonna be triggered on now?
A lot of them are going to be emotionally irrational during this time. The Cowboys in the last decade have used the franchise tag twice. I don't think they used it last year. I know they used it on Tank twice.
Yeah, because I thought maybe we used it on Micah, but you clarified we didn't use it on Micah.
No,
actually.
because
I heard somebody floating something around today that said David Mulugheta's players have never been tagged, but I did a quick Google search on that, and that's not all the way true.
True.
So I was like,
No,
if he had players never gotten tagged, I was like, wow, this one's about to be a blockbuster.
If I'm not mistaken, I think T. Higgins was tagged one time.
Yeah, I believe so. I think he was one of the first names I seen. It's like, all right, that's not relevant anymore. But
yeah, and T. Higgins fired him. So hey, but I would just say chill out, because we do have like two weeks and some change on a franchise tag.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's gonna play out. Because y'all know, and I know that they're gonna kick this thing down the road. It may happen at the 11th hour. We all want it sooner rather than later, especially with Aubrey's contract looming. That's going to be a no-brainer. And then Javonte Williams, we don't know. I mean, think of Javonte winning partner and got David Mulugheta. Boy, that would sweeten the pot, wouldn't it?
Honestly, no, because from what I hear about the demeanor of Javonte Williams, it's not going to mesh well with the personality of David Mulugheta.
Oh, okay. Well, I was about to say, boy, that could get ugly real quick, because I'm like, we already got to deal with him a second time around. I'm like, tag, be safe, we'll deal with him later. But realistically, I think the best case scenario would be here to tag and then get a deal done with him before we go in, so we know how to balance these books coming up out of the draft, right?
And yeah, and the projected salary for Javonte Williams, I think, is 7.3 or 7.8. So he's not going to be asking a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know. But we wanted to make sure you were in the know.
I hope we don't get Bradley Chubb too, but like,
don't start that. Don't start. I mean, Tyreek Hill, now Bradley Chubb. Here we go. Everybody gets released. The Cowboy, we're good. We need to pay who we got. Maybe go get a veteran linebacker like KELZ said, and then go draft some folks this April.
Because Shotty already said he does not want a player that has a receipt long to the floor with injury. So
yeah, I mean, please, yeah, and that's another thing. Can we get through this draft? We'll have to see. Can we get through this draft without drafting anybody, like you said, that's going to come off an injury, like a Jalen Smith or Savon Rebel or any of those types of names you want to enter in? We need people to be able to come in off the gate and build with this youth culture of this Cowboys youth culture, culture moving in here, because it looks like Jerry may have gotten out of his way. But I don't know. The combine is coming up, KELZ, and we ain't heard from Jerry in the last couple of combines. And I hope when I'm there, I hope he's there and I hear from him.
Thank God, no. Let it be as quiet as it was last year.
I know, right?
Let it be it was so peaceful. The only ones you really heard from was Steven, Shotty, and Will McClay, because they're working as a three-way tandem.
Yeah, and we're working here as a two-way tandem. It's your position predictions crew. We'll be live again Sunday at 5 p.m. unless something, or 7 p.m. rather. A little late here on the West Coast. Had a time change move. I got an event I got to get to. Appreciate y'all being flexible. But if anything breaks, we'll be here. But if not, we'll see us back here on Sunday unless KELZ gets some new tails. But we'll be there talking about linebackers with our special guest, Smack Talk. His link is down there in the comments below. As always, KELZ, thanks for coming and setting everybody straight here as the tag window has opened, because here we go again.
Yeah, hold on. I only mentioned that because edge rusher is a need online. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I already said that we need an edge. That's what I'm saying. Like, when
KELZ trying to get them overtime
free agency and drafting, we need everything. It's just like one is not important than the other because we have a desperate need for it. But like I said, with this year's draft, it's going to be a lot of they calling it geriatric players because a lot of them is like 25, 26 years old because they decided to stay in college a little bit later. A lot of it has to do with
well, I mean,
what is it, the NIL?
Leah said age ain't nothing but a number.
Yeah, what is it, the NIL deals? And then, a lot of players, they missed a couple of seasons during COVID, and those were approved. So you're seeing a lot of older players coming out with this year.
Can we just draft? I don't care about age. Can we just draft somebody healthy? Because it's one thing about age, but it's second when it comes to these injuries, and we got to wait a year for folks to come, and then we got to wait for recovery, and then we pay them a whole lot of money, and then we trade them like a Trayvon Diggs. But you didn't hear that from me. You'll see us on Sunday in the gym for position predictions on linebacker. See you on the gym on the next episode.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.